Hi, I'm Shan, host of the Broken People podcast. This is your special invitation to join in the Broken People community. Take a break from the hustle and bustle of life and join me the last Saturday of each month as we share in inspiring stories to uplift and grow your mental and spiritual health. And you know we have to do it Jamaican style. None is exempt from joining as we're all broken, just in different ways. On a forward.
Sometimes before you build something new, you got to go back and refresh and rethink and reanalyze the things you could have said and the things you wanted to add on and the things you wanted to bring anew. So this episode, we're going to hit y'all with the first recap of this mid-season before we hit y'all with the mid-season finale. So I just want y'all to know I appreciate everybody that's ever took time to listen to what we doing over here, and I appreciate you. And if I could go back and go through each episode and say the things that I wanted to say about those episodes, this will be the episode. Sometimes in order to start new, you got to go back to where you came from. I'll explain that later. I'll explain that now. Let's start the show.
Ever been left speechless by the ridiculousness of modern dating? Or maybe you're more old school. Yeah, like seriously, what were we thinking with those pickup lines in the 90s? This is I'll Explain All This Later, the podcast where we dissect the crazy world of relationships. From dating app disasters to in-law interventions, we'll cover it all. Now, some of our takes might be a little hot, but hey, that's what you get when you press play and tune in. We'll explain the logic behind it all. Eventually. Anyway, let's dive in.
Y'all already know what it is, and what it's always going to be. Now, this season, I'm not even going to lie to y'all. I've had a ball doing this season. I think it was just an incredible breath of fresh air from what we did last season. It's very different. And I told myself, I'm like, yo, we had some really dope guests come in through the first half of this. And it is amazing what good conversation can do. How when you work together, you can bring the best out of people. You can bring the best out of yourself. You can bring the best out of your emotions. And the conversations that you have with people is just amazing. So I said as to give a refresher course, where I can dive into a little bit more of the topics and give, my 2 cents on everything that you've heard this season. I want to dive a little bit more into it. So first episode that we came back, we discussed loyalty. And I wanted to really dive into loyalty a little bit more. Loyalty is just not about relationships. It's not about just friendships and family. Loyalty can also be something that you apply to self. A lot of times people don't apply loyalty to themselves, which makes them react differently to people. See, a lot of people don't trust in themselves. A lot of people don't believe in themselves. And a lot of people just go with the in crowd and try to fit the zone. To me, loyalty is a feeling. It's not you either born with it or you're born without it. And I believe anybody can be loyal to anything. I believe anybody can be loyal to someone, to something. I believe people can do whatever they feel. I believe they can do. Being there for someone, especially in difficult times, offering emotional support, financial help, conversation, talking someone off the ledge. Loyalty isn't just, I'm going to be there, I'm going to ride for you. Loyalty is keeping your word and keeping your commitments. If I tell you I'm going to be there, I'm going to be there. If I give you my word about something, I'm going to do that. If I tell you I got you, I have you. It's not something, you don't gain loyalty by, oh man, I'm going to be there for you. And then you're never there. That's not how that works. You know what I'm saying? I take things to the heart. If you confide your life story and the things that you're going through in me, and I tell you that I'm never going to go tell anyone else, and that's just exactly what it is. That's loyalty. Loyalty is defending someone when they're not around. It's, all right, I got your back. I'm never going to let anybody talk down to you. I'm never going to let anybody disrespect you or play on your name or play about you as long as I am around. Now, if they talking to somebody else, cool, that's fine. But if you're talking to me about someone who's not here to defend themselves, I'm going to stop that conversation really short. Real talk. You're talking positive about them. Oh, man, I'm all for it. Talk positive. But the minute you start slinging mud and slinging disrespect, now we got to stop this conversation right now. Being honest and truthful with the people around you, even if they don't like what you're saying. I believe in, I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm going to tell you what I feel, no matter if it hurts your feelings or makes you mad or makes you want to fight. At the end of the day, I'm doing myself a service, and I'm doing you a service by being honest with you about what I really feel, instead of letting you go out there in the world and they play in your face. Loyalty is putting the needs of others ahead of your own sometimes. Sometimes it's okay to be selfless. I will ride for my friends and family, my lady, my kids, everything to the end of the world, as long as they know that that has to be reciprocated. If it's not being reciprocated, I don't want it. Straight up. Being loyal to is forgiving someone who wronged you or who you feel wronged you. All right, you made a mistake. All right, cool. Let's figure this out. Let's move on. People in marriages, people in relationships, family, friends, co-workers. Sometimes it's blind loyalty, but it's loyalty nonetheless when you can forgive somebody for making a mistake and you move on forward. Staying loyal to what you believe in, staying loyal to your values, your beliefs. There's another form of loyalty. Like, you have to be able to, be strong and be principled. You have morals, you have standards. I'm not going to change what I feel and what I believe in to make somebody else happy. We just have to find a way to coexist in that world. And that's the difference between, just having morals, just having respect for everything that you're trying to do. And anybody that's loyal to you, they're going to respect that. They're not going to try to change you. Loyalty is a valuable trait. Okay. It's a thing. You have to establish healthy loyalty and blind loyalty. You know what I'm saying? Healthy loyalty is supporting someone or something you believe in, even when it's difficult. You know what I'm saying? Just because they believe in it doesn't necessarily mean you believe in it, but you support it. It's about standing up for what you believe in, though. It's about being reliable and trustworthy. These are all dope traits of loyalty. Blind loyalty, on the other hand, can be harmful. Okay. Supporting someone or something without question can sometimes be detrimental to what you're trying to do, because you don't understand the kind of trouble this person has over here, but you're walking into the fire with them because that's your man's, that's your woman, that's your family, that's your friends. So I get it. They could be wrong, and you're still standing with them knowing that they're wrong. That's blind loyalty. This can lead to negative consequences, both for the individual and the group, so you always got to remember, it's three ways of this. How's it going to affect him? How's it going to affect me? How's it going to affect us? Think for yourself. Blind loyalty, when you're going through blind loyalty, think for yourself, question the authority, question why we're doing this, question how did we get to this point, question why are we at this point, and figure out what's the best course of action. Sometimes you got to walk away. No matter how loyal you are, think of self, think of the consequence, and definitely be willing to stand alone. Everybody's not going to agree with your opinion. Everybody's not going to agree with how you move and how you do things. So sometimes you got to stand firm with what you believe in. All right, well, I'm sticking to my guns on this, and I believe this, and I believe that I'm right. And if I'm not right, then later on down the line, we'll cross that bridge. But for now, I'm right, and I'm going to go with that. Last thing about loyalty, surround yourself with people who challenge you. I don't mean challenge you like fight. I mean challenge you, when they challenge your beliefs that, can help you avoid blind loyalty and can help you make better choices in life. Surround yourself with good people, and y'all make each other better. Y'all make each other whole. These are just some of the things I believe in about loyalty that we didn't tap into, but I want to tap more into. And, that's what we do over here. Then the next thing, that episode 2, we talked about just being yourself. And shout out to Dolly and Ringo. Shout out to them. I appreciate them for taking their time out to come holler at Big Smash for these first 2 episodes. Being yourself. I think for me, being yourself is being real to yourself. Being genuine, being authentic, having your own beliefs, your own values, your own personality, being your own too, standing on your own too, riding on your own too. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I get it. We all need people out here, but sometimes it's good to just ride and balance on self, self-expression. Don't hide your true self to fit in or to please others. Don't hide your true self to fit in and please others. Sometimes you got to please yourself. What makes me happy? What am I doing? Is this going to make me happy? Can I stand with the consequences of this if it doesn't work out? And if it doesn't work out, How do I adjust? How do I adapt after that? That is what being yourself is, just being yourself. And the confidence. This is you. You confident in who you are and what you believe in. You're confident in how you building things, and you confident in who you are and the way you walk and the way you talk and the way you speak and the way you move. You're confident in it. That's what it is. It ain't no other way around it. That's what it is. Why can be yourself be difficult? Fear judgment. You got people out here, might perceive how they perceive you as important to you. They might not like your decisions. They might not like the things you say. They might not like the things you do. So it's very important to, be fully aware. Lack of self-awareness. You might not fully understand yourself and why you're going through the changes you're going through and why you're making the decisions that you're making. You might not understand that. So sometimes you might be so quick to, I don't want to be myself. I want to change it up. Social pressure. We oftentimes feel pressure to conform to social expectations. Like sometimes we'll feel what we're doing is right and how we're moving is right and how we're going is right. But then in all actuality, it really isn't the way that we wanted to, but because of the peer pressure and the way that society is moving, you're not doing this, you're not doing that. And if you're not doing these things, you're not cool. So yeah, I know people who are going through that right now. I used to. Being yourself. Sometimes yourself is underdeveloped. If you haven't yet discovered your true self, it's okay to explore different aspects of your personality until you get it right. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to try different relationships and different friends and different sexual experiences and things like that, because you won't know what you like until you actually experience it. Sometimes it's a personal growth. It's a personal experience when you stand on your own morals and you figure out who exactly you are without listening to somebody tell you who you are. You got to figure that out. You know what I'm saying? It's always good to be authentic. It's always good to be genuine. It's always good to be mindful of how your behavior affects others. But at the end of the day, you have to understand yourself before you can get out here and understand anyone else. I don't care who it is. The next episode we talked about this season was co-parenting chaos. All right. Got some more ideas on how you can deal with co-parenting, because a lot of times, so effective co-parenting, more methods. If you haven't listened to the episode, please go check that out. Shout out to Tira and Flan. Direct and honest communication. You know what I'm saying? Express what you can do better instead of pointing fingers and telling that other parent how they could be better. Take the time to say, you know what? I need to start picking them up more from school, or I need to start doing this, or I'll do this. And then that way it makes it easier for the other parent. In the end, the goal is to make each experience easier for the other parent. That way it makes it easier for you. Refrain from talking about the other parent in front of the children. I don't care how bad that other parent is, or you may feel that other parent is. Refrain from talking negative about that parent around them kids, because you know what? Them kids' minds are still developing, and they'll end up feeling that same exact way. My mama ain't shit. My daddy ain't shit. So sometimes you got to refrain and back up and just keep your thoughts to yourself, or without being an earshot of the children, because at the end of the day, they pay attention. Understanding it's about the kids. So prioritize the routines, maintain the similar routines in each household, so it's not a distraction. It's not a change. And it's not, oh man, at dad's house, we do this. At mom's house, we do this. Try to figure out how to have a balance to keep that familiarity in both households. I think that's dope, and I think that'll work. Always encourage your children that they can come talk to either one of y'all. It's an open door policy. In my village, we have an open door policy for all parents that's involved in this village. You can't, no question is too small or too big. And if one of us can't answer it in the way that we feel is good, we always bring the other parent in, just so it's a clear standing that we are united. Share the decision making. All right, we making decisions together. These are both our children or child. So let's stand and make these decisions together. Let's build this together. They want to do football. All right, cool. We'll do football. They want to do ballet. All right, cool. They'll do ballet. I think they should go to this school because it's better. Let's sit down and figure out why it's better and figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Pull it in, make the decisions together. Stop using your kids as messengers. All right. Stop using your kids as messengers. They're not messengers. Stop using them as messengers. Communicate directly with the other parent and not the children. All right. Speak to them. Speak to each other about the children. Speak to them about, kid things. Kids should not be in adult business. I'm just speaking from the heart on that. Episode 4, we talked about being equally yoked. I think what it is with that episode, and shout out to Miss Q, being equally yoked is being all about compatibility. It's all about sharing similar values and beliefs. It's all about communicating effectively. It's all about supporting each other's dreams and aspirations. No little U's, no big I's. It's all about respecting each other's differences. Being equally yoked. Someone pointed out that it's a religious thing, but I think mutual support, effective communication, the principles of shared values, it can be applied to any type of relationship. You know what I'm saying? It's important, though, to know that being perfect compatible is rare. Like you're not going to find that type of compatibility in every relationship that you deal in. And every relationship requires effort and compromise. By seeking a partner who shares your core beliefs and your values, you can increase that chance of finding who's really for you. You can increase that by just taking the time to know who you're dealing with and not making assumptions. You know what I'm saying? Being equally yoked it's an even playing field. It's even. We're not moving all around, moving the pieces on the board. We're figuring out how to make the pieces fit. And I think once you do that, everything else is a walk in the park. Everything else is a piece of cake. The last thing that I really wanted to jump into was, how do you overcome being jealous or being greed or having hate in your heart for what the next person is doing? Self-reflection is key. You got to figure out why your roots are so deep into this person and why you feel the way that you feel and why you're going through the things that you're going through. Are you feeling insecure? Are you feeling inadequate? Are you resentful for what they're willing to do and how far they're willing to go? Are you feeling these things? Do you feel these things? And then find out why you're feeling these things and practice mindfulness as to why you're feeling these things. Be grateful for the things that you have, because it's always somebody out there that's looking at you and wondering like, damn, I wish I was like them. Or damn, I wish I had what they had. So you ain't the only one that feel jealous or feel insecure or feel greedy or whatever, because somebody's looking at you the same way that you're looking at someone else. Have some compassion, have some empathy, have some, including others and yourself. Have those type of emotions, have love and kindness in your heart, man, because things like that, just because you're hating and wishing the downfall of somebody doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get everything that you desire and everything that you deserve, because I can tell you won't. Hating on other people will never get you what you want. Straight up. I just feel like this season was so important because we talked about a lot of things that people out here go through, and they're scared to go through these things. Relationships, friendships, families, friends. So I consider this the mid-season refresher because I'm here to just give y'all my thoughts, man, and give some added input to what it is that, we are trying to give y'all with these conversations that we're having. The next episode is the mid-season finale. It's really a dope conversation about stereotypes and racial profiling and discrimination and relationship stereotypes and things like that. It's really a good conversation. And I can't wait to have that. As we slide towards the second half of the season, I do have to let y'all know that I do have and I will be having a super dope co-host come through and come aboard for the second half of this season and as we move forward. So I'm really excited about that. She's really dope. She's really phenomenal on that. And then I'll still have my special guest popping in. The second half, I got some really dope people. The second half is where first half was the surface. The second half, we're going to get root. And I think once we do that, y'all will really understand why we're doing the things that we're doing over here. And I'll explain all this later. I appreciate y'all taking the time to hear me out. Y'all already know what it is. We'll see y'all next week. I'm out.
Thanks for listening to I'll Explain All This Later. Please like and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. And join us again next time for more outlandish takes on relationships and the dating life.